So I'm halfway to actually breaking down my 5-gallon tank where I grew my immersed plants, and then where I first introduced and made a video about these plant holders. And my 1.5-year-old baby's sleeping, so I decided why not just make a video. So I'm sorry, yeah, it's halfway already, but basically Petco has that 50% off of their fish tank, so I bought a 10-gallon tank for like $10.91. And yeah, I just filled it up with water right now. Just having pea gravel, no soil or organic stuff underneath it, just pea gravel. Most of the plants that I'll be growing will be either immersed or floating plants. Also, I have some cryptocorns, and they're pretty good. I mean, they grew when I had a black diamond blasting sand. So it's still a bit cloudy. I cleaned up the pea pebbles outside at my backyard, and I just did like 2 changes when it was in here, because I saw it's still a bit cloudy, but this is better now. And then of course I have the bamboo trellis that I had when the 5-gallon was set up. I'm placing the 10-gallon here on the other side of my hobby room, simply because that 40 breeder is already heavy. And then I'm still using the same stand. And then I use these plant clips that can stick on the walls to hold this in place. And the first thing that I will be doing will be the Monstera. This guy has really grown, and it's one of those plants that I've actually seen in YouTube and a lot of pictures online that has very beautiful roots. And what I did was I just cut the roots at the gravel area in the 5-gallon tank where it's touching the gravel. So I didn't pull it out to I don't want to get the water in there dirty before I move the shrimps. So look at that, all those roots, really nice. There's algae, which for me looks like moss. I like the look of it, and it actually has spread onto the 5-gallon tank walls. I like the look of it. I'll keep it. Hopefully it sticks on the walls. This one is actually painted black. I painted it yesterday. And yeah, so let me put this here and show you guys in a bit. Right, I've already placed it on top of the tank. Very easy. Also still use that clip to hold this in place, and it's doing good. It's not falling. And the plant holder here, let me just get it underneath here. I'll still fill this with water so that the roots will be in touch with the water. This root though, I will cut that part maybe in this area, simply because I don't want that large root to reach the glass. These plants in time might break the glass or even go through the seams of the silicone and go through it and cause leaks. What I did with this one, when I read in a group that I joined, the Texas fish keepers, or San Antonio fish keepers, they said it might get to the silicone. And so my plan is, as I see it grow through the substrate again, what I'll do is I'll just cut it above where it touches the substrate. It will look like it's still in the substrate, but actually I've just got it like right close to it. That way the roots underneath will just decompose, will be turning into organic material that the plants can still use. And that way I will also prevent damage to the silicone. So let me grab my shears here, and I'll just go ahead and cut this part here, and hopefully it will branch out and produce finer looking roots. So my baby's awake now. So let me pause this a bit. So while I'm trying to look for the next plants to move, I want to show you guys what I'm talking about, the algae. this one stuck on the back glass of this tank, and I really like the look of it. However, again, I didn't paint this black, so it's a bit messy. So I'm hoping if I place some of this with the plants in the meantime, and then the background will then grow some algae. Hopefully this one also grows and cover the back part, because the shrimps really love this. So the next plant anyways, so there's one more here and there's one more here, so hopefully, well, I was hoping I can spread it out, but then I decided to buy a new tank. Okay, so the next part is this, the pothos. All right, so this pothos here, let me just pull this out, was actually I placed it about a week ago, was growing horizontally through here, and my goal was to get those roots growing down, and it will hopefully have that really nice root growth. And actually you can see the roots now. So I'll place this here, and then the next plant I'll be placing will be this micans and this Amazon sword. I'm not sure, I'll post a link wherein this the Amazon swords, I grew it immersed on this tank. It actually grew big. I took the bigger one and actually placed it there. I'm not sure, there's some glare. So there, and I was able to divide it into two, and this was the other one, also close to that Amazon sword in that tank, but I pulled it out about a week ago also and decided to just plant it immersed. Until now, I decided to get a new tank. So what I'll do, what I did here is, when I placed it, clipped this, I actually, it was this way horizontally in the tank, and then I used my plant holder to hold this in place, wherein the roots of the micans is still in the water, and then this is partially immersed, and I'll show you guys in a bit. The goal here is to get this to grow immersed, but I want it to be in touch with the water, like partially submerged. That way it won't dry out. One thing I've noticed with this tank, and I learned a lot about it, is when I place the aquatic plants immersed, they would grow new leaves, have new growth. However, they will dry out real fast. And but the Amazon sword were pretty tough. They're able to get a bit bigger. I'll show you a picture. Hopefully I can find one, but it grew really big. The problem was my cryptocorn when DTI, I actually, yeah, so one was growing here before. It won't really thrive. It just grew and then the leaves will die back, but it produced runners, wherein I placed them in here. So sorry for the glare again, but yeah, those are the crypts that cover the let me see, let's close my project here. There, oh, that's better. So yeah, so those are the crypts that were actually the runners produced by the mother plant. That mother plant has died, but the runners has grown. But I still have a few that grew in here, and I place it here until now. Again, I'll place this, I'll find a spot for it. But let me move the micans first and the pothos. Alright, so here's what I did. The pothos, again, horizontal through the brace. I used the clips, which is one of the most versatile things that I've purchased. I use this for my orchids, any plants, vining plants, and in this case I was able to use it as a clip to hold the pothos horizontally, and you can see roots now already growing. That is because I placed this about a week ago on the 5-gallon tank. And then another versatile thing that I've been using is the one that I did a video about, is the this plant holders, and then this is the Christmas light holder or hook that can be that are placed in gutters, in home gutters. So I was able to modify it to hold the plant So basically I just push the roots of the micans deeper into this basket, and then of course the Amazon sword. Right now it's still above water because I didn't fill this up. I want to be able to work without getting wet too much. But again, the goal here is to get the water up, get this plant partially submerged, so that way it won't be shocked and get dried too fast. And then what I'll do is eventually, hopefully, it will have new growth that will be adapted to immersed growth. And I was able to do that on this Amazon, and this is one of the I was just able to propagate them properly. So these are one of the Amazons that just grew and just separated, and again placed in my 40 breeder and until I pulled it out a week ago. So yeah, for the next plant. The next plant is actually a plant that I just received yesterday. These are Brazilian pennyworts. Look really rough because it's southern Texas. Could have been, I was able to get it from our mailbox real quick. However, it could have been stressed out when it was being delivered or on its way here. But yeah, it's still in its basket. I'm not really concerned way too much about it. I'll just place this in here and I'll show you guys in a bit. Still cloudy, but yeah, I just dropped the basket in there. Just let it go get more growth. For the bigger part that got cut off when I receive it, I just place it underneath the roots of the Monstera. Just let it hang in there, and yeah, that's it for this one. I'll grab the crypts that, oh yeah, the immersed crypts. So let me show that to you. So yeah, this is a pothos. I won't be using this anymore. Yeah, let me just handle this and I'll show you the crypt that I plan to grow immersed. Alright, so I placed it in that spot there. It's hard to see because it's way down there, and then when I fill it up with water, it will be submerged, and hopefully again it would be able to have new growth, eventually grow immersed and be more established and healthier. So yeah, let me grab some more plants and see what else I can add. And I have another crypt that grew on a lava rock with some of those nice algae, so I'll grab some of that. And let me see, this is the algae. It has grown, I don't know if it's clear, but it has grown on the rock. It doesn't look like Java moss, but the shrimps love it, so I'll grab it and move it, and I'll show you guys in a bit. Alright guys, I'll show you what I've collected. So this is where the crypt was growing, but it got pulled off. But here are two crypts that I'll be planting. Alright, and yeah, so two crypts, and then this is the algae. I've grown Java moss before, and for this tank I don't want Java moss because once it gets established, it will just take over the tank. And my goal here is to have that floating plant roots system look. And this one though, it is really cool because it looks like Java moss, but it's really short. So this is algae because I didn't put any moss in there, or maybe it's moss that came with the plants and eventually grew, but you know, I don't care, it looks nice. So let me plant this right now. So yeah, so it's easier to place, unlike the other one wherein it's more flimsy. I need to put like smaller rocks, and I'm not even sure if it will stay in place. It might even float. But this one, again, it has a root. The part of that root underneath the rock is harder, and keeps it's more sturdy for the plant. So I just put one rock to keep it in place, and I think this will be a better candidate for the immersed growth. So let me plant the other crypts and then I'll show you what I've done. Okay guys, so it's been a couple of hours since I did the last part of this video, and then decided to just grab the Cryptocorn parva from my 40 breeder. It's a very slow grower. I think Rachel O'Leary on a non-CO2 tank. It took her a year before it carpeted her tank. In my case, it's very slow. I bought only one at eBay. Maybe she had more that she planted. That's why it was able to cover her, I think it was a 10-gallon or a 20-gallon. In my case, so I just pulled this out. Just want to add this to the tank. I was surprised. They have runners already. So it has grown. And as you can see, that with that one plant, I separated it into 3. So this one was like beside that one. So 1, 2, and 3. And I can see runners now, but again, very slow. But yeah, I'll add this to the 10-gallon. And so hopefully things go well. Since the plan here, I just put in the what do you call this, the driftwood. It's Manzanita. Purchased it from eBay. But let's talk about the crypt first. So yeah, so there's runners. So I think I can do 1, 2, maybe I can separate, maybe 4 plants. I can do 4 plants. And very excited about this because I'm thinking if it was doing well on that tank, so it might do well on this tank. So yeah, let me plant this and I'll talk about the Manzanita in a bit. Alright guys, so I was able to separate it into 4 plants. This one actually has the one of the runners. This one is a good size clump, but I don't want to separate more. It will be more established. It's a pretty easy plant to grow, however very slow without CO2. I heard that it's a great carpeting plant for a CO2 tank. So yeah, let me get this into the tank. I just want to show you guys how I partitioned this small plant. Alright guys, it's actually been a week now since the last part of that video. That was on July 9th. Today is the 16th of July, so 1 week. Just a quick rundown. I did a couple more water changes during that time and then replace it with water from the 40 breeder. I was surprised how clear it is after a couple of days. I actually just transferred all of the shrimps on that day, so much more like an instant cycle. Use the same water. Basically the new ones are just the gravel. I didn't have any mass die-offs. In that week, I saw a couple of shrimps being eaten halfway already by these shrimps. So I had a couple, 2 or 3 die, but not a big deal. The shrimps are all doing good. Also transferred a lot of snails. My favorite, the bladder snails or pond snails. I love them, especially for new tanks. They're free and they're pretty good in, eating algae, eating decomposing or organic material from the plants, and just helping the tank cycle. And as you can see, it really looked different. I have the lava rock and all that stuff, but what I'm supposed to talk to after that last part of the video was the crypt parva. I was able to separate it into 5 plants. So there's 1, 2, 3, 1 here, a small one. I want to see how the roots grow, and the 5. My 40 breeder is like a year and a half, and I don't really have that carpeted look. The good thing is I only purchased 1 pot from eBay at the time, and it's growing. I have runners. I was able to propagate it, so that's good. Again, when I watched Rachel O'Leary's video about this plant, she didn't use CO2. I don't know how much she started with, but it really looked nice. And in a smaller tank like this, I might have a better chances of it growing faster. I plan to fertilize more now. The couple a year and a half, or since I set up the 5-gallon tank, wasn't really fertilizing that much. And even the 40 breeder, only once a week for the liquid fertilizers. Main reason is I just want to grow plants. I just want to experiment on doing the immersed plant growth. I just want to have a place for plants to grow until I got my 40 breeder, and of course breed the shrimps. I really don't care how the tank looks. I'll show you a picture of how the tank looked before I broke it down, the 5-gallon. And there's lots of as you saw before, lots of algae on the sides. There's algae that was growing that I actually put on the lava rock. I'll explain more about it. And yeah, the shrimps love the algae, and that's the main priority. I started with 12, 5 died, I had 7, and now I have hundreds, more in the 40 breeder definitely. So yeah, that's a cryptparva. They're doing good. And for the next part would be the manzanita. Okay, so I do a slight pause. Main reason is sometimes when I don't like, or I have a brain fart or something, I kind of mess up the whole video. So I'll do some short pauses, and so that I can save that last part and don't need to do it again. But back to the manzanita here. Manzanita is one of those wood or driftwood that I've been seeing online. People love to create you know, aquascape with this driftwood. Basically, I was planning to buy this from my local fish store. However, I just want to get an idea how much these things cost, and I went to eBay and saw this piece for like $10. It was like 7 inches tall and like 4 or 5 inches wide, depending on how you prop it up. It's only one piece. I was able to cut it in like 4 pieces, but that piece has a lot of features that I really like and decided to buy it. So all in all, it's like $20 because of the shipping. I don't know if it's a good price, but again, when I saw something that I like, especially for driftwood, it's not something that you can get the same thing from other stores. I decided to go for it. So a bit expensive. I figured maybe that piece might even be like $12–15 in our local fish store if I can find one. The other thing is I don't want things so big, and when I saw the size, the measurements, it's perfect. I don't like it too big and overwhelm the whole tank. So yeah, so I saw you guys saw the picture. I cut it in like 4 parts. So there's this part, and then that part, that one, and that's the 4th one. So this is where the plant, my modified or DIY plant holders come into play. So those 2 parts, I just clipped on the Amazon sword that I'm trying to grow immersed. So right now it's pretty obvious there, but I figured when the Brazilian pennyworth grows, it will cover it. And then the Christmas lights gutter hooks, again, versatile. I was able to use that to clip this largest piece on, and also that one. So yeah, so they have that root-like growth. It would definitely look better if it's rimless, but by gosh, it's expensive. It's like the cheapest 10-gallon is like $110, and this is just $10.91. So I think, I mean, as much as it looks good, I'll go for the practical route. So that's for the manzanita. The goal here is to let the Brazilian pennyworth grow and grow through the roots and give that look that it's growing upwards. And right now I can see why Brazilian pennyworth is a really nice plant. I have the Hydrocotyl tripartita, I guess, same family, but this one is so skinny. The stems are very flimsy, and as you can see, they're a mess. I'm just leaving it there because once they grow, they will still have that nice look. But right now I like the Brazilian pennyworth more. There is a pretty good flow from this mini filter, but it's holding its place, unlike that one. But then again, I'm just gonna leave it there. I don't want to throw it away. I want to grow it for maybe in the future. But this one, I can see a great like a lot of possibilities already. In that 1 week, it has a lot of new growth there. As you can see, it's starting to reach the surface. So what my plan is, as it reaches into the surface, I'll let it grow more, let more roots grow, and then cut it, and then place one more here, and until I can get it to have that really nice vining look. There is a YouTube creator, Fazi Paws, FAZI_POZ, that's his name. He makes a lot of biotope tanks, and that's when I first saw how nice the setup was. However, I don't think he makes a lot of videos, but that is one of my most favorite videos wherein he's got leaf litter, apistogramma, some pencil fish that swims like in a 45-degree angle, and then he's got his only plant was the Brazilian pennyworth, and it was really nice. It was all over the place, just growing upwards. So that's the goal for the Brazilian pennyworth, and I think that's it. And the other thing is LRB Aquatics has a lot of Brazilian pennyworth growing above the surface, immersed and like covering much of or half of his tanks, and I really like that look, so I'm gonna go through for that look also, which will help with less algae. So hopefully I can just have controlled growth of algae that I really like, and which will bring me now to the lava rocks. So earlier you saw the algae. I'm still calling it an algae. I don't think it's a moss, but anyone watching this, if you can share what do you think that this algae is, or what is it specifically. When it was growing in my 5-gallon tank, it was actually growing on top of the pea pebbles, and it was giving that really nice not carpeted, like pillowy carpeted look, and that was my initial plan. I didn't even have any plans for the lava rock. However, I realized I still have those lava rock, these black lava rocks that I purchased from Amazon, and I said, why not use those? And but then I found a way where I can put those algae without messing up the cryptocorn parva, and so that's what I did. I have these 4 really nice pieces, and I used fishing line to tie them on the rocks and hopefully cover the rocks, and you know, provide because the shrimps really love it. Other thing though is that it's messy, as you can see here. I think it's shrimp and snail poop growing there on the algae. But in a way, I don't mind. It will offer food for the algae. Hopefully, again, it carpets or it covers the rocks and has that rock algae look that I also saw with Rachel O'Leary's tank. She has a tank that grew algae that she just let grow, and it has that really nice like pillowy, like a marimo moss ball, but it's on the rocks itself, and it was really nice. It looked really cool. And so that's what I did. I separated 4 of the I separated like 4 or 5 pieces of that algae that you guys saw earlier, and just use fishing wire on it, and just to tie it down. I'll show you guys the rest of the lava rock that I bought. Alright guys, just want to show you the lava rock, the black lava rock I purchased from Amazon, $25, a big bag. I forgot if it's sold by weight, but there are different like options, like small pieces. These are like the large pieces, and for $25, these are really nice pieces. You go to a local fish store, they sell these things for really expensive price. I found out about this when I was watching a video by Dr. Plants. He has a paludarium for vampire crabs. Oh, it's one of my favorites. Makes me want to set up one also, maybe in the future. But basically, I saw this really nice black lava rock pieces that he has, and I asked him where I purchased it, and he said it was in Amazon. And well, the rest is history. I've had this for like a 1.5 years now, and I have a lot more for future projects. And one good thing is they're just like the red lava rock, but of course they're black. They are rough, but they're not sharp as like feather rock, which they say is glass sharp. So this will be better for inhabitants, and then again, they're light, so you can silicone them as a background if you want. So that would be an option. But for in this case, I love them to love the algae to grow all over them and have that like moss garden or moss rock look. And also I have some crypts growing in the background. I just want to see how they look. If they mess up with the long root growth look, I might remove them, but it's good to have a few more plants in there. They can help with you know, getting all that organic stuff through the substrate. So yeah, so I have one of the crypts that I'm trying to grow immersed. So from here I actually transferred it there. And what's really nice is I don't know if you can guys see it here, but there's already a new root growth. Let's do this angle. So the one growing downwards, that's new root growth. So this early on, a week on, they're having a new root growth. The Monstera has a huge root ball here. I cut it off because it's just too big, and I really like the way it looks right now. And of course the Amazon sword, the plan is, again, as you can see, it's now in water, so it won't really grow or get it won't really get dry, and hopefully it's quicker to grow the new leaves that will be adapted to immersed growth. And yeah, so very excited about this this tank. I'm gonna get a nano fish for this. I will let you guys know. Of course, I don't know yet what is available, but I'm looking at Chili Rasboras, the Boraras brigitae. It's been on my wish list ever since. I might break down the 40 breeder. It's been there for a year and a half. It's looking good, but it's too heavy here in the second floor, and I want several, like 2 or 3 more nano tanks. They're easier. I mean, at this point, the 40 breeder is really established tank. It's very easy. I do water changes maybe every 3 weeks, but I'll do an update video about it soon, because again, it's been a year and a half since I had this tank and never had any problems, and I enjoyed it. And what else? Yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you. I apologize for the first part of the video. It's a mess. I always work fast. Again, I'm not able to make any preparation. I realized, hey, why not make a video? My kids are sleeping at the time, so I made one. Oh, the other thing is the Philodendron micans. So in the 5-gallon, I had one already growing. So when I transferred it here a couple of days after, it started to like wilt down and like dry up. So I guess it got stressed out. And so I got I'm growing. I have a whole mother plant of the Philodendron micans, and decided to just get some cuttings. This one has still a long stem here. Used a clip to hold it in place, and then have the part with roots under the water. So hopefully it does good. Same here, that's another Philodendron micans where the dinosaur is just being held by a clip, and then part of it is in the water with its aerial, with the roots there, with the Monstera roots. So I guess I've covered most of it already. Again, really excited about this tank, and I painted it black, so I really like that look. So yeah, if you have any questions, guys, please let me know. Again, appreciate the patience, and if you've gone until the end of the video, definitely thankful for that. It's quite a mess, but I don't want to miss out some parts where I did the when I broke down the 5-gallon tank and used some of the plants. I want you guys to see it and maybe learn something from it. So yeah, that's it. Please hit like and subscribe. Thank you again, and see you in the next video.